So let me present her right now. Let me not wait any longer. Hey, boo. Whoa. Hey, boo.
It's like a black. Okay. I think it's right.
I know you don't know Spanish, but everyone has been talking about how amazing you are. They say you need to make a group called Coco Shinola because
we should actually get on that though. Like,
right? Leave a comment. Leave a comment with a $1 donation so we can start this album.
This is my very first live, y'all. So
be gentle, guys.
Yeah.
So how are you? What's up? How's the quarantine been going for you?
The same as yesterday and the day before. I'm really over it. Like, I'm stuck. For those of you who may not know, I'm stuck in my brother's crib in Virginia, which is where I'm originally from. But I really miss my apartment in New York. I miss being able to do normal life shit. But, you know, making the best of it.
Well, the one good thing about this quarantine have been your quarantine bops. Truly a personal fan, and other people, all the women that I've shared your content with, really you've been like the most popular one that everyone's been talking about. They're like, oh my God, we love Coco. Like, yeah,
so much pressure.
She's a huge fan. She is now a momber. That's what I'm gonna call your fans. So
Ew, a momber.
A momber. So without further ado, I'm gonna play these quarantine bops and then we'll get into the Q&A. How does that sound?
Okay, cool. I'm sure I'm putting this the right way.
Need to break up as soon, cause I'm running out of rooms. Got me napping in the noon. When they tell me I'm a soon. Need to break up as soon, cause I'm running out of rooms. Got me napping in the noon. When they tell me I'm a soon. Day 3, 4, 5, I've had enough. All the time in isolation be adding up. Really feeling for my niggas who have it rough. I know living in the city be bad enough. Got me thinking about the money on my dinner plate. Like a real long drive down the interstate. Gotta focus on the present and don't stay up late. Cause I'm sleeping with the hope that we gon' wake up straight. Your Jackson, yeah, I'm indoors too. I don't want you thinking that I ignored you. But it's been a week and now you've been bored too. So I did my thing and now you did yours too. Figured I would call so we can talk things through. Cause the tone that we be texting always gets confused. It's a situation that I ain't wanna lose. But the going back and forth is what we ain't gonna do.
Yeah, I know you busy, shorty, I've been busy too. I ain't tripping, I just hit you, hoping you ain't hit me too. I was grinding before lockdown, I had plenty of shit to do. If you text me, I would text back even when I'm in the stew. But you right, ain't no going back and forth. You do you, I do me, ain't no need to speak much more. Quarantine got me thinking things I never thought before. I might risk it, pay a visit, fuck around and show up at your door.
I just wanna ride with my homies, late night cruising, keeping low juicing. Where I wanna be when I'm lonely, but I'm not free to live a routine through. So I use dreams to console me. They can OD and overwhelm me, but I don't let fear behold me. I just wanna ride with my homies. Wish that I was chillin' somewhere top notch, somewhere that was not God, but from all the hot spots, bruh. Sailing on the ocean and my thoughts like, I be getting salty cause I'm God. I just wanna focus on the good things, what the future could bring, breaking from my TV screen, calling for distraction so I need these dreams, riding with my homies till an easy breeze. Too soon, too soon, too soon, too soon, but not high key, 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 too soon.
Hello. Oof, and we're back. Your mic is muted.
Okay. Oh wait.
Okay, now you're good. Now you're good. I
Okay.
got you.
I was like, what do I do?
Wow. So, a round of applause. I know everybody's clapping at home. I
you,
did
thank
these already,
you.
but I love to watch them again. First thing I want to ask you is, can you tell the people at home a little bit about yourself, your background, and kind of how that influenced music?
Okay, my name is Coco. Some people know me as Simone, others Mary, but only like a few people know me as Mary. Originally from Virginia, the DMV specifically, but now I live in Brooklyn, where I do most of my work. I went to Parsons for a business degree in design strategy, but somehow that morphed into video, which morphed into video and music. Backtracking. Before then, I always wanted to be a singer and was into like all the creative arts of all types of sorts. And then once I graduated college, I was like, okay, I can actually pursue the music thing and no one can tell me shit. And yeah, that's what I did. Combined everything together. And yeah.
Okay. And how, when you come, well, specifically for these quarantine bops, like, what's your process like? Do you write the song? Do you make up the concept first? Like, what do you go through personally to be able to do that kind of stuff?
My process is not really linear. Like, I kind of do everything at the same time. Like, it depends. Like, for example, with Quarantine Bay, like, the visual kind of came in my head. I'm like, it would be cool to have like a mirror type video. And I'm like, okay, well, what would that song be about? And I just kind of like went through normal day life, and I was talking to my sister-in-law about like the idea of how it would be funny, like to have a quarantine bay, like during the quarantine situation or whatever. So I'm like, okay, let me take these two things together and like start to create something. And then I do like the test videos to see like, because sometimes I'll start working on the video because it'll help me finish the song. Like, I use visuals a lot to tell me what a song should sound like. So yeah, it kind of like comes together, and then in the end, everything is finished. Sometimes most of the time I finish the song like as I'm finishing the edits as well.
do visual, since you're also a filmmaker and a producer and a singer, when you get inspired for a song, you also said that the visuals help you, decide where you're gonna go with the song. But originally, like when you get inspired for a song, do you look more to your music influences, or do you depend more on those visual influences and things that you're like interested in right now?
You mean as far as like when I get inspiration, am I more inspired by like the music or the visual?
Yes, exactly.
I feel like it's equal. Like I really pick up, it's gonna sound so like head ass or whatever, but I really pick up on like vibes and energy. So like depending on where I'm at, like before the quarantine shit popped off, I was in Brazil. So while I was there, I was really just soaking in like the sounds like of the crickets and like the ocean and the trees and shit like that. And like that is paired with like the visual of everything. So I can't really say like one influences the other. It kind of like all happens at it's kind of like me trying to create a feeling or create a mood, if that makes sense. Like I think of every visual or every like little project, especially within the quarantine bops, is like a universe in itself. Like, okay, like with the animation, this is a universe that this exists in. Like what would be happening here? And like I pay attention to little details like the sounds. Like if you really listen, like each layer of that animation video has like a sound, like some type of sound effect to like really put you into that where my mind is at. I don't know. I don't know if that answers your question, but
It does actually answer my question. I think it's really interesting because since I'm mostly more what's it called, on the music side, I definitely start out with like the melody and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
Really interesting also to apply it as myself, and I'm sure other artists as well, either if you're a filmmaker or if you are a musician. I think it's really interesting how you can kind of start thinking about things differently, and looking for influences outside of maybe other artists musically or other visuals itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like that, honestly. I also wanted to ask you, like, I out of all your videos, which one is your favorite out of all the bops?
Ooh, it's between Quarantine Bay and how am I forgetting the name of my own song? Ride.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good tie between those. Ride because it took me for fucking ever, and it's cool because like a lot of what I do, like the positive that's coming out of this, like I feel like I'm finding out what I'm capable of. Like I didn't know I could do animation shit. I didn't know I had the patience for it. I didn't know I had like I guess the technical skill to like make things move, because that shit takes forever. Like it took me forever to do that. But so yeah, for that. But Quarantine Bay, like it's like a vibe. I don't know.
My personal favorite song, is hard for me to choose. I really like Quarantine Bay. It has to be between Quarantine Bay and Ride, I think.
My favorite song is High Key.
Oh, speaking of High Key, I really love this video because I also grew up in that area. That's where we met. So also like the trains, the old town, like all of that was like such a flashback to my own childhood and us running around looking
getting into trouble,
looking super crispy in Old Town, just ugly
ashy
with band tees. And I thought it was so cool that you were able to do that. How does it feel for you to be able to come back home, especially that during this time, like to be home and have kind of, all your childhood right back at you after being in New York for so long?
I mean, this whole situation is really weird. I mean, it was already a transition. Like I was in Brazil for a month before I came here, and like I was supposed to be there for I think almost 2 months. So it's like it was already a transition, like being in another country, and I don't speak Portuguese, so like it was like experiencing that, and then like getting back here was like a process too. It was like short notice, and then like being back in my brother's crib, like me and my brother were just talking about it. Actually, we haven't lived together since we were kids, so it's kind of like
true
bringing out like it's like old memories. And we lived in an apartment like this with me, him, and my mom and my sister Sophia. So it's just like, what the fuck? And it's weird too, because it's just kind of like I live alone in New York. Like I'm used to creating alone. I'm used to like, you know how I am. Like I'm very private. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just be in my head, like have my own little corner and like work on my shit, and then maybe I'll send it to a few people here and there to get like the final like make sure I'm not out here looking crazy or whatever. But it's been cool because they've been like helping me, like I don't know, like because I'm here. So
That was
like,
going to be my next question. Like, has living with people affected the music in a positive way? Like, has it
for sure. Just
doing?
like little shit, like for example, like with the back and forth video with Quality, he I was trying to figure out how to format it for Instagram. So at first I was like, okay, it's going to be an IGTV video or whatever. And then I posted it. I'm like, this shit is ugly as fuck. Like the preview was mad ugly. I'm like, oh, fuck no. Can I curse? I'm like, I don't know if it's.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say on YouTube that this was for kids. So we're good.
Okay, bet. So we're straight.
Like,
yeah. So I'm like freaking out. Like, oh my God, like, how do I export this? Whatever. And Devin, my brother's name is Devin. He was like, why don't you just like put white borders on it so it looks like you the optical illusion? And I'm like, you're a genius. He's like, literally, we're like just chilling on the couch, like flipping through channels, and came up with that idea. And I'm like, damn. And the same with like, he actually came up with the zoom in effects for Quarantine Bay. Because at first it was like it was just a zoom out. And I was like, I feel like it's boring. It kind of needs something. And he was the one that was like, oh, why don't you do? And he like the cool thing too is that they show me like music video examples. He showed me the Kendrick Lamar music video. I forgot the name of it. Fuck. But they do a lot of that, like the zooming in from like one part of the roof to the other. So I'm like, okay. Like I'm just me. I know what my mental capacity is as far as like inspiration. So it's cool to have like 3 other people in the room that can like cite things that they know.
That's interesting. That's literally my favorite part about the Quarantine Bay video, because just the way that you look and the mirror and like the color scheme, the zoom in, it gives like this like iRobot type technology, post-apocalyptic feel. So I really do like that.
Thank you. I mean, a lot of it too is like little shit. Like most of my videos are in slow motion, and like that just gives it that atmospheric effect of like I don't know the word for it, but to do that I have to like perform each song like fast, like sped up, like double time. So it's just like if there was somebody recording me as I'm doing it, it was weird as shit, but it comes out looking cool. So
yeah, you taught me that little trick as well. we worked together on her video I Heard in Egypt, which is also not because I worked on it with her, but it's so good. Like I look at it and I'm shocked that like I don't know, it's just such an incredible video. And I the video on the webpage, which I think it's also on your website, right? Which is scrolling at the bottom. So you guys should definitely go in there and check out all those, like all her videos. But when we were in Egypt, we were literally standing in front of the pyramids, like around with all these tourists and all the people in Egypt, you know. And we had this song sped up, and cocomamba is just like dancing 2 times the speed in front of the pyramids. And it was really funny. But people don't know like what it really takes to get these.
No. You need to tell them how we went back. How we went there. We were in the hot ass sun, being harassed, all that shit. Got the footage. We're so fucking uncomfortable. We're so ready to go home. We get back to the Airbnb. We look at the footage, and there was shit out of focus, and we're both just like. And it was actually you that was like, we got to go back. Like, and mind you, the pyramids were like a 40-minute Uber ride from the Airbnb to the pyramids. So we did that 2 times in a row. And
they don't put AC on in the Ubers in Egypt. I don't know why. Like they have the windows down, and it was crazy because we went there first, and I was looking really cute. You know, she was looking cute, but I was looking cute for my selfies because, you know, it's not every day you go to the pyramids of Giza, baby. You know, I was looking so cute, and I had my little décolletage. What is that? Décolletage? What is that called?
Not décolletage. I don't know.
But anyways, I had cleavage, and so
cleavage.
So we went there, and as you guys know, that Egypt is a very conservative country. So
a bird.
We went there, and people were talking to us, and we actually got stopped by the police. They wanted to make sure we weren't doing anything that was
almost got arrested.
Yeah, and we were really scared. So we left. Basically, we were like, oh no, fuck this. We finished And then I saw the footage and I was like, "No, we got to do this." Like I said, it's not every day you go to the pyramids.
Yeah, you said that. I was like, it's okay. You're like, no, we got to go back. I'm like, all right, if you insist.
And yeah, the second time I got in touch with my masculine side, got some free flowing clothes, and we finished out the video. We got a lot of footage.
We did a good job.
It's not easy, but what I love about cocomamba and what I really want to like highlight in this video is that she does all of this shit by herself, with help sometimes, but a lot of most of the things that she does and what she's learned, like she's learned by herself, learned through trial and error. And I think that's like the most incredible thing because she's so creative. She doesn't have a lot of money. Everything that she does, she puts it right back into her art. And I feel like it's such a good example. I think you're a really great example for a lot of people that maybe think that they don't have possibilities to do things because of money or other shit, that they're not going to be able to reach their goals. And I feel like you're a great example that with creativity and effort, you can really not only continually get better, but make continually just consistently great content. So for me,
thank you.
I'm able to show your videos here today, and I hope that for me, you're a huge inspiration, and I hope that this video gets out to people that also are trying to get out their content and trying to get stuff together, and are also inspired by your work.
Thank you. I mean, honestly, the quarantine bop started out of anxiety. Like, I respond to stress by working. So it kind of was just like, all right, I'm stuck. Originally, the first one was social isolation, which I didn't send because it wasn't really like I don't consider it like with the quarantine bop. So it kind of was like, before, I was kind of like, all right, I need to get out of Brazil. I'm stuck in the Airbnb, but I'm like too shook to go anywhere because like I don't know what the fuck is going on. So I'm like, okay, let me just shoot a video. And then I shot that video. And then when I got to Virginia, I was like, oh, that's when I came up with the mirror idea. And then, you know, like a lot of freelancers. So to backtrack, I'm a freelance video editor, like professionally, like that's how I help pay for. So what Julie was saying, like I get paid and I literally put that money right back into like my music production shit. What was I going to say? So yeah, so I lost all my freelance gigs. Like a lot of them went back in-house, and I was like, all right, well, if I'm gonna have all this free time, the only excuse I can really give to be chilling is if I at least try to work on a video at least once a week. I've been like announced it because I don't want to put that pressure on myself. Like I'm kind of just like, you know what? I'm just gonna put things out and like try to use this time to like develop all the skills that I wanted to develop when I was like working my ass off. Because I think I get myself into a cycle where I'm like, all right, I'm going to be working like hardcore for like 3 months so I can save up money to do this big thing, like a big video, or like with Brazil, I was there for a music residency. So I can like work on music and shit. Like I spend all these periods of time working. And then the free time that I have, I spend it working on music shit. So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to put pressure on myself. I'm going to use this downtime to actually like do things that are fun, that aren't like, you know, specifically for a purpose. Like all the quarantine bops are like on SoundCloud. I'm not putting them on my iTunes or Spotify or any of that shit. It's literally just creating and like throwing things out for people to enjoy and to see like what works and like what I can apply to like more stuff in the future.
So I almost forgot to mention, I'm glad you mentioned the first unofficial quarantine bop, which Brazil. So Coco was doing a residency in Brazil this year. Can you tell us a little bit about that and a little bit about what is going to come out of that in the future?
Sure. Okay. So I reached it's like a quarter life crisis moment. I was like, all right, like kind of what I was saying before, like I'm working, to support music, which is great. It's been dope. I'm really fortunate to be able to do that. But like, I just need to figure out what the fuck, like what direction I'm about to go in, because it's not really sustainable. So I just started looking for residencies like that can just help me like clear my mind spiritually, creatively, mentally, all of that. So I found one. It's on this island off the coast of Sao Paulo, Ilhabela. I feel like I'm pronouncing it wrong, even though I shouldn't. But Yes, I was there for a month just working on music. I have another project coming out. Unfortunately, it's going to be delayed. At my brother's crib, I don't have my full like desktop computer and gadgets and all that shit and hard drives and stuff, so I can't really work on it while I'm here. And as many of you probably know, New York is not a place a lot of people want to be right now. So yeah, I was working on music videos and a lot of music, so it's going to be like a big visual project. Like I'm trying not to put like names and labels and titles on things. Like I'm trying to like trust my intuition more and just kind of create intuitively and like put things out as they come out without like trying to fit it into a box or category. So, but yeah, that should be coming out soon. It'll be on my website and it'll be dope.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of this. For me, it's such a huge honor to have you here, not only as my friend, but just separately from all of that. You're such an incredible artist. Everyone,
Oh, thank you.
I tell about you, they are immediate fans, and everybody remember that before Coco blows up and on all the live streams, she was on this live stream first, her first live.
My very first live stream. I'm like, I mean, most people who know me know that I'm like an introvert. Like I'm an extrovert when it comes to like creative shit, and like I could be social and stuff, but when it comes to talking and like having people, it gives me anxiety. But Julie talked me into it. If anyone could, it would be you.
Oh, I love you. I like to say that you're an introvert, but you're a Leo.
I am. This is true. Okay.
I love you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. And I guess